we are going to share it in different social media channels. So yeah, that's why we are going to talk in English. If someone doesn't understand, just come to me and I'll explain what happened, or yeah. So first of all, I'm really glad that you're here, and I hope we are going to make a great community around n8n, automation, AI, and so on. This is the first event, and yeah, I'll just start. So first of all, who doesn't know what n8n is? Just raise your hand. All right. Are you just you don't want to say it, or okay? Don't be shy. It's not a problem. We're going to explain everything. It's Marto and Yavor will show you very great things with n8n. But what's n8n? n8n is workflow automation platform with native AI capabilities. You can connect native apps, automate repetitive tasks, and also build AI agents. And a lot of things which can be done visually or with code. So it's for no-coders and for coders. So everybody can use it. I especially am not a coder. I'm like a low coder. I'm kind of technical, but not. So yeah, all right. Everything's good with the lightning. All right. So first of all, why we built this community? For me, there are a few reasons. And first of all, to be local. In Bulgaria, we have not so much local communities in the tech. Maybe in tech we have some, but here this one is for like not only high tech people. So we want to enable everybody who has interest in automation. Also, we want to bridge to the n8n ecosystem. So their target and their purpose is to create great communities all around the world. And you will see there are a lot of YouTubers, there are a lot of ambassadors all around the world. So we will connect the bridge, and I will try to be a good bridge with n8n. Also, we'll have like faster access to best practices and releases. Whenever something happened, like one thing happened like last or 2 weeks ago with the security, so I become early information and give you that information. So it's going to be faster access for best practices and releases. Also, the most important thing is the last point, but this is something that I want to encourage. It's all about to meet collaborators. So all you can do some things in n8n. So you can meet some collaborators and just talk each other about different issues, problems, etc. And maybe the most important thing for me is that we need to be on the global map. So our Bulgarian presence will be noticed from n8n, and will become like great Bulgarian community. Will be encouraged and will be something that n8n want to see. And what is my role here? So it's nothing about business or whatever, but most important is that I'm the bridge between our community and n8n. I'm like the project manager, let's say, of it. And the idea is to connect our community of Bulgarians who want to work, build, and work with AI automations. It's very powerful, and you will see there's a lot of things you can do. I'm sure some of you already know it. So yeah, this is the idea. And what I commit for this year is to make 3 meetups. This one in June, and one in October. And also, there are going to be online community, which is a place where we can communicate between the meetups. Also, I will share some resources, tutorials, news, whatever is valuable for the community and in part of the n8n, I will share it. Also, something that I'm doing with collaboration with SoftUni is a A to Z course for n8n starting next month. And it's going to be like 5 lectures, 5 exercises, so it's going to cover all the information. I have some community discount, which I will show you later. But yeah, this will be something in cooperation with SoftUni. And this one is going to be in Bulgaria. Now, please take your phones, and I just want you to shape the community. So I've coded one app, which is powered with n8n. And the idea is to get some basic information about what you want to know and what you want to do in this community. So it's not the idea for showing you some things or doing what I want. The idea is to do things what the mass people want. So this is the idea for the community. And also, this year we're going to create 3 meetups. But this is not the only format for meeting each other around n8n. They encourage to have like hackathons, workshops, another formats, so you will see them. And you will be redirected to a platform where you can see the result from all of you. So yeah, and we don't get any information besides this you give. All right. Let me. Yeah. I can open it. The one that. Yes. So as you can see, we have like heard but not tried, which is very good because you'll see how powerful it is. Most of you don't have time, or it's a technical barrier. Okay, let's go again with the lightning. And also, you'll see that workshops are good. What else? What do you want? You want case studies, tutorials. Industry news is not that needed, but yeah, perfect. So this is the thing which will shape the community. So I'll get this information and then share with you in the LinkedIn group, which is the next thing which I want you to scan. So this is a LinkedIn group, which is now open for everyone without approval. but maybe sometime after the event I will walk it for people, because there are a lot of like Indians or people who just see n8n community and just go in. So yeah, I want the community to be vocal. So yeah. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn and connect me. So yeah. And one thing I want to please you for the next event in June to bring someone with you. We'll get some more space somewhere else. So yeah. All right. Let's continue to the main part. This was the setup for the community. So thank you for being here. Thank you for actively participating. All right. Thank you. Let's continue with my story. It was a journey. It's easily say journey because 3 months ago I was rejected from the program, and this was something that I didn't expect because I was very actively participating in the community and in different n8n events, LinkedIn, so on, but it just happened. So, first, how some information about me, just to know me. I'm the analytics consultant at Verto Digital. I'm leading AI automation initiative internally in the company for 2 years now, and also I'm a athlete by nature. I'm doing triathlons. So yeah, this is in short. But I'll keep you in touch and talk to you here after the meetup. So when it started when we needed to create ad copies for 50 plus campaigns for one of our enterprise clients. And this was something that needed to be done in very different channels. We needed to restructure their account, and we needed to create ad copies. No resources from our side, no resources from the client side. And we weren't the bottleneck. So we restructured the campaigns, and we couldn't start them because we don't have the ad copies. And this is something on scale. You can't do it manually, like for a week or so, or you need so much resource to do it. So before August 2024, I was creating some custom GPTs in ChatGPT. I was manually prompting one by one, campaign after campaign, so we needed this automation because of this use case. But first, we don't want to pay. We are Bulgarians. We want something free. We get Zamunda, we don't get it now. But yeah, we wanted something free. And I found Dify at first glance with ChatGPT. And ChatGPT told me how to self-host it, so there was like terminals, virtual machine, ports, etc. I don't understand these things. Nowadays, I understand them a little bit more, but not that much. So this was back in the days. And now, yeah, late night debugging, things breaking constantly, but I kept going because I just wanted to set this up and to make it work. This is very simple visualization of how everything started. There were ICP creator and website summarizer, which are custom GPTs. These are generating some content, which is as a context for the copy generation, because we don't want to create just ad copies. We want to create quality ad copies. and we needed some information about our client, about its ICP, etc. Then we Dify with 2 AI agents, or just LLMs, who does the job for ad copy planning and then generation. And then the output comes in Google Sheets. So then I found n8n, and I saw this AI agent. And the thing which grabbed me was this in the green. When you open it, you see what's happening there. You can see all the things in the input and in the output, which was perfect for me to understand what's happening. So we moved from Dify to n8n, everything changed, and we first moved part of the automation of this AI copy generation, then everything. And also, with Cursor, we interfaced an internal dashboard which helps our team to adopt this automation. Because as you saw on the charts, most of you are scared because of the technical things around n8n. So people don't want to use n8n because it's too technical. So I just wanted to make it easy for them and just make it like simple front end, which calls the n8n workflow, which helps the team to adopt these workflows. So they started using it day to day, and this is part of the workflow. It's not that simple, but it's simple. I don't know, in my point of view. But yeah, Node. This one is called Node. Like every square is called Node. So every node by node, and with the help of ChatGPT, Quad, and other LLMs, you can build everything now. So yeah, this will come in the n8n course. So this was part of the workflow, how it works nowadays. Just quad codes, building the web application, then the copy generation and the results in Google Sheets. And it's that simple. So when you have less tools, better. And we started building more and more over time. So LinkedIn Audience Agent, which is one of our best agents, which does scoring of job titles, skills, targeting criteria. This is all for marketing for LinkedIn. So we use this to have better targeting in LinkedIn. And our clients really like this. And also the internal team, because we automated uploading them, because they needed to click hundreds job titles, which is manual work. We don't want this. And other internal tools and dashboards with Google Analytics, BigQuery, other use cases we have internally. So the team uses this daily. And all of this is powered by n8n AI workflows. Something else we did like last year was integrating n8n with Juma, which Yavor will say more about it. But this was something that helps us to use Juma again as a AI-powered front end, let's say, and then as something that is not possible to do in Juma, but soon will be possible. And how the story goes. There was an event, NoCode Week in Milano, where I had a workshop. NoCode Week is a very interesting event. It's only for no-coders, people who use tools like Google, Zapier, Make, other no-code tools. And there was also n8n Hackathon. So I saw the event, and I saw that I missed the speaker deadline. And I talked with my manager, who asked me, okay, you can go, if you speak, because it's a whole week, you can miss the whole week just to be there. So I needed to speak there. And I missed the deadline by 20 days, but I had a chance because I mailed them, I told them, I can do this, and this. You can, I can do whatever speed you want. So this was something that helped me to go there. And there, the workshop was about interfacing n8n workflows with Wobble, with one prompt shops in Wobble, where we interfaced one of our workflows. And this is needed because we want to do it easier for non-technical people. So this is the thing. And after that, there was a hackathon, 24 hours, and we were a team of 3, and nobody had a chance to work with n8n, so I needed to do some things. There was a Telegram bot that checks pollution levels and tells you if it's safe now to go outside, and also sends you daily reminders what's the pollution levels and how safe it is. Here is our presentation. This is, I think, in Cairo. In Giza, yes, in Cairo. And there the pollution levels are very, very big. So we won because of our use case. It was a very interesting use case because you can chat your Telegram bot to tell you about the pollution levels. And here we won with our team, Lucille, Guillaume. This is Bart, the fourth guy, the community manager of n8n, and Claire, who is ambassador from France. So after the hackathon, I had a chance to speak with Bart. Before the hackathon, I tried to approach him like 2-3 times, but every time I go there and he was like, oh, I need to speak with someone else. I need to speak with someone else. So I was okay, but when I won the hackathon, everything happened, so I just had a catch up with him. And after that, he invited me to the n8n Fest, where spoke Jan. Jan is the CEO of n8n, and he's very casual. So I didn't expect that he's that casual, but yeah, the n8n is Berliner startup. So it was a great event, catching up with other community people and ambassadors. So it was great. And then when I talked with Bart in May in Milano, he told me that they're going to open their ambassador application for like at the end of summer. So I was okay, I'll wait. And I applied for it. 2 months waited, and the answer was, we decided to move forward with other applicants at this point in time. I was okay. I just wanted to try, and I knew that I did a lot of things for the community and for the ambassadors. And then I wrote an email. I'll be an ambassador without a title. I will teach n8n and SoftUni. I will post about it on LinkedIn. I will continue adopting it in my company. I'll do everything this ambassador does, just without the badge. And then, 2 weeks later, Bart wrote an email which said, you've been using n8n since August 2025. And I know this is not correct because we were already talking in one May. So there was just a typo which auto rejected me. And this was something that I didn't expect, but having the relationship with Bart helped me to be an ambassador. So what I learned here, and I will leave you with that, because I think when you want something, you can achieve it. And first of all, you just need to start. So I saw you already want to, you know the tool, but you never started. So just start. It's going to be terrible at first, so just start. And then try to solve something real you have in your life or work or whatever, which helps you to make your life easier and better with automations. And also just show up, just catch up with the community, catch up with someone who wants you to know you, and you just need to be visible, because if you're not visible in this world we live, maybe you will not proceed, let's say. And also, rejection isn't the final. We're Bulgarians, we will find a workaround to do it, I'm sure. So, what's most important, and for me, and I think for all of you should be, that the relationships. So, that's why making community meetups here in a wide environment where all of you can talk each other in a world where in social media you don't know what's AI and what not. And this is something that I just want to make sure that we do here in Bulgaria, in our local communities. So I want to make sure that we do great relationships and help each other to meet our targets, let's say. And something that I will leave you with is you don't need permission to start, you don't need title to contribute, and just build something, share it, show up. So the rest will follow. I want to say special thanks to Virtu Digital, because they were part of this community, this journey, and without them I will not be an ambassador. So thanks to Virtu Digital. And also this is the course in n8n, where there is a coupon code for €10. I will give you the QR code later so you can use it. But most important for me is that I will get €5 for every user register for the course. So all the collected money will be donated to Tuk-Tam, because I believe that we need to encourage young people to succeed. And yeah, it's like young people to young people. So I will donate all the money I collect from this course. So thank you. And now, the next speaker is Yavor Belakul from Juma, who was the guy who integrated n8n in Juma. Maybe because of me, I'm not sure, but yeah. So he was the guy who integrated n8n, and I'm sure that he have a lot to say about it.
Thank you so much, Moni. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. This is the first. This is the first n8n meetup in Bulgaria, but it's not the first for me. I attended a few n8n meetups in San Francisco a couple of months ago. This was the event where n8n launched their new feature where you could build AI workflows using their chat. And one of the presenters showed a workflow where he's created the top fans of n8n on LinkedIn or something like this. And I'm like looking at this table, and I saw money. Which is very fun. Like, he was in top 30. And I was not surprised because he's talking about n8n all the time. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Moni, for starting this community. Moni is one of the best marketers I've ever seen, one of the best n8n engineers, so please applaud Moni. My name is Yavor. I'm founder of one of the biggest AI communities in Europe. It's called the Engineer Foundation, and it's the European chapter of one of the biggest AI communities in San Francisco. So I know how hard it is to start a community, so Moni, all the best, good luck. I'm also co-founder of an AI startup which is called Juma. And I'm also a professional athlete. I used to be in Bulgaria's national table tennis team. Not very useful to the keynote, but a bit of experience. I want to go back to 2023 when I met n8n for the first time. Before Juma, we rebranded a few months ago. The startup was called TeamGPT, and this is the very first version. It was pretty early in the AI days, so the most popular thing to build back then was building a ChatGPT wrapper, so this is what we did. We started as a hobby project. It was very, very sketchy. We were working with another startup. It was just like a side project. But it somehow took off, and we got 10,000 users with this super, super scrappy code, with this super, super scrappy UI, which was very shit, not gonna lie. But somehow it took off, and we got a lot of big clients like EY, Charles Schwab, and so on. And we understood that we have to actually make this work. So we did a complete rewrite of the software for 2 months, and we fixed all the stuff that were kind of broken. But then the problem came that we had to migrate 50,000 users from the first version to the newer one, and the first version was using MongoDB with a lot of broken data, and the new one was using PostgreSQL. And we reinvented the whole software, but how do you migrate 10 million messages, like many, many gigabytes of data from MongoDB to Postgres? This is a very, very hard technical task. So for this migration, we needed a visual way to actually do this. And this is my n8n workflow. And this is actually, some of the boxes, some of the nodes are actually separate workflows. So it's like a function calling another function. So it was like 30 workflows, the whole migration. We had to move their files, move their messages. It was so much data, and it was very, very hard. I was working on this for a couple of months. We migrated 50,000 users, 10 million messages. Because we have a lot of proprietary data, like we get the data of UI, ChartShop, and so on, we had to self-host it, which was also very hard because we were bootstrapping, started with no money, and we didn't have money for a decent infrastructure. So it was a very, very, very tough task, not gonna lie. We connected to Slack, so we were getting notification for every migrated customer. This is a good day, so sometimes it wasn't working like this with all the green ones. This is the container. It was eating memory all the time. We had some bugs and stuff. And because the data was super, super inconsistent, because we were using a non-relational database. Who's an engineer here, by the way? Okay, a lot of people. So yeah, a lot of the data was very inconsistent, and I think almost every possible bug or every possible problem with n8n, and this made me very proficient in fixing problems in n8n. I found a couple of bugs, found a few issues, committed some PRs, because n8n is open source. So I really got to know how n8n works under the hood. So after we finished this migration, I hadn't used n8n like a lot. We had a couple of workflows for internal use, but we met again last year. As I told you, I'm co-founder of Juma. Juma is an AI workspace for marketing teams. It's a place where a marketing team or marketing agency uses AI agents, AI models, and n8n. Something that we found out is that a lot of the marketing teams already use n8n. And they use Juma, they use n8n. They were like, how can we use n8n inside Juma? We don't want to go to n8n and just click the button to execute the workflow. Can we start it from Juma and actually use my context from Juma and get the result in Juma? I don't want to go to n8n because it's easier for me. So what we did, I called Hackathon, of course. I was like, hey, let's do this. I'm not sure how it should work because I'm not the ICP, I'm not a marketer, and Monk is a great marketer. So we built it together, we were working for a couple of weeks. He was very helpful to provide all the feedback. And we made it work. I want to talk a bit about how important context is in your n8n workflows and when you use AI especially. You know, AI needs context, it needs the right information so you can get the best results. Even if you have the best n8n workflow, without giving it the right context, it's not gonna work. So inside Juma, we've got this concept of projects. It's basically a knowledge base, and you can import data from all kinds of services like Google Drive, Slack, OneDrive, and thousands others. It doesn't really matter. It's the place where you create your important data that you want to use with workflows or the AI. We've got a lot of projects for internal use. This one is for customer support, and you can see on the right side, you can connect your data source and run voice. And at the bottom, there's automation. So you can connect your n8n workflows inside this project. How you do this, you just enter your n8n base URL, which is an instance in your API key, and then you just have to select your workflows, and they're going to be connected to your project. After they're connected to your project, it's very easy to involve them. You just have to tell the chat to start the workflow, and it's going to execute the workflow, and the output will be back in the chat, and you'll be able to continue chatting with the output. We will automatically detect if there's a variable. This is, I have picked very simple example so you can just understand how it works and how important it is. Mark is going to get a bit more technical with me in a bit, so I think it's going to be nicely balanced. This is a very simple workflow which gets you the YouTube transcript, and the YouTube video URL is the variable basically. It's the dynamic part of the workflow which will detect automatically and pass to the workflow. Inside this chart, our customer support is fully automated through Juma and n8n, and it's one of the cleanest examples how you can integrate it. Here, my colleague asked if they can get all unassigned tickets from HubSpot. We use HubSpot for customer support. The AI detects we have a workflow that can pull the data from HubSpot. It involves the workflow, and n8n returns all the tickets that are unassigned. Then you can ask the AI to draft a response to the first unassigned ticket, and obviously we have the answer somewhere in the knowledge base that we created as a project. We imported all of our previous tickets, we've got some website links, we've got a lot of data. So the AI now is going to go to our context and put information and draft a response using that context. And then you can send the response to the user using another workflow. So we've got workflows for different stuff, getting the tickets, answering them, closing them, and so on. So our teammate doesn't really need to go to HubSpot. And here they can close the ticket because they are spam basically. So we've got all kinds of workflows for using HubSpot. I'm an engineer, and with all the AI-generated code, together with my team, we open up to 20 PRs per day, and sometimes it gets a mess. So I connected my GitHub n8n workflow to Juma, and once a day I check how many open PRs there are. You can see today there are 14, which is a decent number. So I tell Juma, notify the dev team, please. We've got a workflow for Slack, and it's going to pass the right channel to the n8n workflow, and this is the right channel for this is the development channel. So what it does is it sends a message to my colleagues, hey, close some PRs, here are all the open ones. I've put a LinkedIn post from Monkata, who is working with Juma and n8n, and he's automating his keyword research. And I'm not a marketer, I can't do keyword research, but this video is amazing. He's automating his work. This is a very complicated workflow, and I'm very impressed what you can achieve when you use n8n and Juma. His workflow is very, very powerful, and after the workflow returns the data, he can continue using the output in the chat, asking clarifying questions, or using his data, he can trigger another workflow to continue his analysis. So definitely worth. Also, when you involve the workflow, we pass a lot of data from the project. We pass the whole chat history, we pass the knowledge base, we pass some extra information about the users. So if you use AI inside your n8n workflows, you can do a bunch of other cool stuff. Something that I want to talk about is how you can onboard your team to n8n workflows. What I've seen is usually on the team, the n8n knowledge is usually held by one person. Usually it's only one person who's done the workflows, and if this person disappears, I don't know what's going to happen. This is the usual case. Maybe not in every place, but this is my experience. So it's very important as Monkata did. Vibe coded this application where his teammates can also be on board with the n8n workflows, actually use them and see what's going on. And yeah, these are the problems that usually appear. Except for the knowledge, permissions might be hard inside n8n. To get the project inside n8n, you need a more expensive license. UI might be tricky for very non-technical people. I know n8n is for non-technical people, but for people who aren't used to using a lot of softwares, it could still be much harder to go to n8n and find the right button compared to, prompting a chat or something like this. These are all the projects inside our internal organization. All of these have connected n8n workflows for different use cases. So we've done a lot of internal automations for the sales team, for the marketing team. You can see the sales team has 2 workflows for getting a customer and changing their customer plans or whatever. Doesn't really matter, but all they do is just prompting the chat, and the chat connects to n8n, and n8n does the work. About the integration, I spent a couple of weeks researching how to do this integration on the technical side, and it's not the most trivial thing to do. I know a lot of people talk about MCP. I tried that as well. How many of you have heard about MCP? Okay, great. I tried the MCP, but the nature of the MCP is like streaming. If you have a limit, like 5 minutes with n8n MCP or something like this, and some of Monkata's workflows take up to 20 minutes. The most interesting ones are very long, and you need infrastructure to support long-running workflows. And we figured out this. We have native integration, which allows you to run workflows no matter how long they are. And we also spent a lot of time on the UI UX. You got automatic AI response. Once you get the data from n8n, Onboard is going to format it nicely for you. If it's a table data, you're going to see it in a nice way. If it's a file, it's going to get attached under the message. And it's very easy to reuse the data to trigger another workflow or continue the chat. So to recap, I told you about my n8n experience, how I was dealing with all this data and met almost every single problem that you can meet in n8n. This made me kind of proficient in n8n. Context is very important, not only in n8n, but with every task that you do with the AI. So make sure you curate your data and pass it to the workflow or to the AI. And if you can find a way to onboard your team to your workflows, this is going to be very powerful to the whole team. You can use Juma. A couple of weeks ago, I hosted an event here about some insights from San Francisco. I spent a couple of months in 2025. And I'm just going to share something very quick. A lot of people in San Francisco are talking about visual agent builders similar to n8n, and I'm not sure why. because there are a lot of big players like n8n, there's some competitors, and everyone now is obsessed with competing with them and introducing AI to this. But I'm kind of skeptical. Like OpenAI released their agent builder, Firefly released one, LangChain, and all of them do the same. And you can imagine that anything has been around for like 10 years or something like this, like 7 years or whatever. And they've been building open source integrations with thousands and thousands of softwares. And these ones have integrations with like 30 softwares. It's like very, very strange to me. And it's very interesting that they call it agent builder. To me, these are more like workflow builders, because an agent is basically a program which runs on its own until it decides to solve. And yeah, I don't think these are gonna beat n8n and the other big players on the market, but it's something that people are obsessed with in San Francisco, and I was very, very surprised. That's why I ended it here. I'm gonna stop here. I would like to invite now Marko, who is one of the best n8n experts in Bulgaria. He's now gonna get a bit more technical, and I'm sure he has a lot of cool things to say. Marko?
So, first you may ask yourself why I have two laptops, one is not sufficient. And then actually was thinking about speaking about a bit more technical. But again, how many people are technical? Okay, it's going to be semi-technical. So you see me, can you do it at full screen, please? So yeah, I'm going to tell you the story about Cori, which is our employee of the month for, I don't know, about 5 or 6 consecutive months. But before that, I'm going to give you a few words about me. My name is Martin, I'm an engineer, I'm trying to be a business guy. Sometimes it's happening, sometimes it's not that much. You may know me as the guitarist from Kuvangiev band with Svetlana. I don't know why people, after achieving so many different things, know me for this, but it happens. And also I'm the founder and CEO of Encorp, so if you need AI agents, automations, you call me. Then I can send you to Yavor for some of the marketing stuff. So yeah, let me tell you a story. I enjoy telling stories. So, I founded the company back in 2019, and we've been having issues. First of all, finding the right sales, it's extremely hard task. How many of you have found the right salespeople in your company? Okay, I see only 1, 2, okay, good. Yeah, I know the salesperson, so yeah, he's raising the hand for himself. Good job. Good selling. So then I got problems finding the right marketing people. I don't know, I could find maybe like 4 or 5 agencies for just 2 years, and it was just like a complete money pit. Then I got some growth limitations because I was seeking for being like lean as a company and growing steadily, but I don't have so much money like some other well-funded companies like Juma do. And then I got really high HR costs, which is also happening to the companies. So, we got some new team members back in 2025. I'm going to give you brief intros about them. So we're going to start with Chavdar, who is our expert SEO analyst, and he's making amazing content. If you go to Encorp's website, you can see his work. So he has 10 years of experience, works hard all the time, follows all the news sources at all times. He's doing a really, really good job. It increased our traffic by 15 times in just 2 months. I believe that right now we're like 400x on the traffic which is coming from Google. Then we're going to Grigor, who is our expert translator. He masters plenty of languages, speaks fluently at least 7, maybe even more. I don't know, more than 3 languages almost. So yeah. Then we're going to Cori, who is the master of marketing. If you have seen any kind of social media campaigns, if somebody is scanning my code, which is going to be at the end of the presentations, they're going to start seeing some of the work that Cori did in the past 3 or 4 months. Then we have Desi, who is the sales Jedi. She's finding leads really fast, she's making meetings, she's sending emails, just like amazing job. And then we're having Claudia, who is the one that is writing the code. If something is broken on our website, you can send an email, Claudia is going to take a look. She's writing plenty of good code there. And we're ending with Philip. If you have seen some of the images that we're having on social media or some of the rest of the places, that's work by Philip. So we have that amazing team, which is written in Cyrillic. If somebody's watching the video after that, they're going to translate it for them. You can see them, really cool people, but are they really people? So you see, we have ChatGPT, we have Rock, we have Gemini, we have DeepSeek, we have Cloud, we have Flux. These are one of the best platforms that are available right now for being used in your company. And by the way, all of them are free. So you can start using them like even today if you haven't done that already. So the monthly cost, if I had all these people, like real people in my team, that would have been, I don't know, around 15,000 or okay, maybe 12,000 euros. But my monthly cost was $320 US for maintaining all these operations. And guess what? So you have a very good team, these agents are doing the job. So what else can you do? Any ideas? Okay, no ideas? I fired all of them. Do you know why? Okay, now we have silence here.
Too expensive.
Because we have Cori. So who is Cori? Cori is actually our expert in everything AI agent that is built entirely with n8n. I'm going to give you some demos in a bit. So she works 24/7. She executes all my instructions. By the way, any similarities with the real Kirana from Kirana and the astronauts, it's intentional. So yeah, she executes all my instructions really well. And also she keeps me in sync with my priorities and pushes me to perform. If you are founders of businesses, you know that somebody on the CEO needs a CEO about them. So she's doing that for me pretty well. So, let me show you Cori. Actually, she operates entirely in Telegram. And I can, okay, do you see, I'm going to be reading. So, some of the things that I've been asking is who is the guy from my team who has most work hours in the last month, and then which are the average work hours for the previous months. Today I got some tasks which are done in ClickUp. Let me do something. I'm going to say create an offer for AI automations for a company called Juma. So right now Cori is going to go to my documentation. She's going to find the templates that I'm using for the offerings that I'm doing. She's going to create the offer, and hopefully, if everything works fine, I'm going to receive the offer here in the chat. Do you know how much time it was taking for me to make an offer? It was like 10 to 15 minutes. And at some point, we have been doing like more than 20 offers a week, which was great. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's, by the way, not some Indian guy that is doing this for me. So here we have the AI development proposal. And if I want to send it to somebody in an email, I'm just telling Cori, okay, send it over to email for me. We have many functionalities which are operating in Cori. I'm going to give you some of them and show you how it works. So what's under the hood, or I don't know, it should be under the skirt maybe. I don't know how it should be called, but it is like one a bit more complex n8n workflow. So first of all, I'm using Telegram as a way to communicate with Cori. Why am I using Telegram? Because for me, it is one of the easiest platforms to integrate with. I have tried it using a WhatsApp, I did a Viber bot at some point, but Telegram right now works best for me. Slack, it is fine, but Slack has some problems with notifications, at least for me, so I'm not using it that much. Telegram works best, and also I keep it at all times open, and also the notifications from it are coming to my phone at all times. I have made an exception for this. So, how do I communicate with Cori? I can send her a voice message, I can send her a video message, I can send her a photo, I can send her just a standard, traditional message. She's not operating with pigeon carried message, but maybe someday it's going to happen as well. And when the message gets to Cori, you can see that I have plenty of support flows which are happening in n8n. Do you see well? Okay? Okay, cool. So I'm going to increase a bit. So here you can see that I'm using chat models, and I have many different support flows. You can imagine them like a different agent or program that Cori can operate with. So these are the functionalities. Some of them she can check different companies, get information from internet. When we have like a new client which is coming to the company, or just a new lead, I want to know how much money is this company making, how many employees does the company have, and if they're active and what they're doing. So all this is done from Cori before the meeting. She can search in the internet, download files, send emails, create LinkedIn posts, create client offers. She can communicate with HubSpot. She has information about all our deals. So there's one really nice functionality. Actually, Cori has access to all the meetings that I'm making. So she listens to the meetings, she has a transcript of these meetings, and if I have a question, okay, I saw, let's say, Alex in the fitness a few days ago, and we after that had a meeting, which was recorded, and I asked, okay, what was the topic of the meeting? And she's going to tell me, yes, you have spoken with Alex about this, and the follow-up is like this. So that's really useful for people who are having many different meetings like me. She keeps my tasks in check, so if I have like a new task, I'm just asking Cori to operate it. She has access to our BI, so if I need like any kind of status report, any information about the company to find if we're losing any money on software, etc., she's doing it exactly the same way. And also, she has many other tools which are helping me just do my job. Because at the end of the day, if you need a person to be doing all this and to be responding to you in 30 seconds, that's almost impossible. I used to have a personal assistant. She was not operating that way. So, the coolest actually stuff that's coming, I have a daily brief every single morning by Cori. And she is telling me what I'm doing during the day, what I should do, what's my agenda. Here hopefully you can see, but this was my agenda for the day. You can see all my meetings. If I have any kind of problems, overlaps, or anything else that may happen, this is going to be marked here so I can reschedule if needed. Then I have the website information, so she's tracking if I have any anomalies on the website, things which are happening. And I have all the AI news. Actually, some people even from here are asking me, how do I know all the important AI news every single day? That is because of Cori. She's doing all this for me, tracking and displaying them. And I have some morning motivation, because I need to be motivated at the end of the day for doing stuff. So she's telling me what are the things that I could do during the day. And by the way, I have all this information also as a voice, because sometimes when I'm driving, after I wake up, I need to go somewhere, I'm listening to this morning report in the car, which is really useful. If you ask me how do I generate the audio, actually that's happening again through n8n, through another workflow. I'm just saying, okay, generate that audio from the morning brief and send it over to me. What's the strategy when you're implementing this kind of super agent? Because this took me some time to even know how to make it work that well. First of all, know your tools. n8n has more than 500 right now, different integrations that they support, maybe a few thousand at least, maybe tens of thousands actually, of operations that you may execute. So first of all, go there, try different things, try different softwares, different integrations that they're having, so you can achieve your result. Keep in mind that some of these are going to work out, and they're going to work out of the box. The other stuff, you're going to have to know your stack in order to get your results done. The thing that I'm doing is actually, when I create a new workflow, I'm doing smaller implementations, more agents. I'm testing them well, and then I'm adding them to the big agent, to Cori. Then we have the inputs. Sometimes you need to pass inputs to the different agents that you're communicating. For example, for a LinkedIn post, you can see that I have like topic, additional details, and language. This kind of inputs, it is going to be really well to be simple, not to be like 15 different inputs. Keep them up to 5. Then the other strategy that I'm doing, I have a main agent. Keep in mind that the core, like the heart of Cori, that's the manager that is managing another set of agents. So how does it operate? For example, if I want for Cori to create a new task for me, I'm just asking them for Cori to do it, and then she is calling a sub-agent that is going to create a task for me. Because when there are too many instruments added to a single agent, then you're going to have a problem. So that's why I'm limiting the number of operations that a single agent can execute. And it is happening like in a company. So in your company, if you have a problem, then you're going to a team member and ask them, okay, can you solve this problem for me? Because I don't have time to do it right now. It is exactly the same thing with the agents and sub-agent workflows which are happening. It's all about management. And the last thing, do you want to see my system prompt of Cori? Okay. It is simple. What does it mean simple? And that way you're going to see it. Your name, Kerana Boteva, but people call you Cori. You're the business assistant of Encorp AI, and Martin Kuvangiev is your manager. Only specific people in the company will have access to your functionalities, and you should follow carefully their instructions. You're a very positive and energetic AI agent which has a nice and smooth sense of humor when you're responding to Martin, only to me. For the other, she's professional. But are extremely professional when you're communicating with Encorp's clients. Our company is developing and implementing AI agents and automations. We also have a team for software development which is focused on fintech and banking. Other conditions when you're creating a contract to a Bulgarian entity, write all the data in Cyrillic. See, it is simple. It's not like a huge prompt as on the other specialized agents that we're developing. It is something extremely basic. Go ahead. Oh, I have typo for the first time. At least it is shown that it's not written by an AI. And here you can see that in the user comment I'm just having my message, which is coming from Telegram, and then in the extra Telegram information, it is showing if it has been like a photo, an audio, or whatever I'm sending, so that metadata is important. Excuse me?
Is it ChatGPT?
So the question is, which LLMs are we using? Actually, it's a mix of them. Right now, I believe that I'm using ChatGPT 5.3, but I'm going to tell you for sure. Oh, it's even 5.1. So yeah, we're using OpenAI for the main brain of Cori. And then when we're creating social media content, it is Grok. Right now it's working best for this. For the tasks agent, we're using ChatGPT 4.0. And for the BI operations, we're using Claude. So different chat providers and LLMs, they have different functionalities. Not exactly functionalities, but specialities. When it is like data management, Claude for me are the best. When it's translation, I'm going for Google. When it's social media posting, I'm going for Grok. So based on what we want to achieve, we're selecting the best one. Go ahead. DeepSeek is quite okay, but they're lagging right now from the competitors. And also they're extremely slow. Like sometimes I see it when I type a request to DeepSeek, it is faster for me to find it in Google, to find the right information, and after that I see the DeepSeek has answered. So if you're like doing scraping, data management, and everything is out of sync, so that means that you don't get it right now, DeepSeek is good. Go ahead.
Yeah, in the child workflows that you're calling, are you also set up agents in them or the sub-agents only in the main workflow?
So if I have set sub-agents inside the child workflows, it depends. For example, when I'm creating a contract, it is just a linear flow. If it is LinkedIn posting, then I have an agent as well. So it depends on the purpose. Again, it is about delegation of tasks. If I see that something doesn't work as expected, or if Cori is just overwhelmed to do all these tasks alone, then I'm creating a sub-agent. Great. Okay, do you have any other questions? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, great insight. Just to ask, how much time did Cori take from idea to this?
Okay, so now we're going to have some fun. How much time did Cori take to, from the idea to be implemented? Fun story, one afternoon. How did it happen? We got all the other agents already working, and that's why I told you that we fired them. And it was because I was in a meeting with a client and I promised them that we do personalized AI agents that can do all the work by their team. And they said, cool, can we do a demo in 4 hours? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I could cancel all my meetings, and the first version of Cori, which was like 60 to 70% of what we have right now, she was then less than 4 hours. But after that, it took some time to just pass all the other functionalities that I want and to perfect them in a way to be the right assistant for me.
Okay, I made an error with the QR code, mate. Your QR code is
it's not working.
Is not working?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Why the hell? Is it Cori?
It was not Cori. Funny.
It works on the computer, by the way.
It works on computer. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, just find me LinkedIn. That's going to be the easier option. I don't know how I didn't even got this QR code, but yeah, sure.
It works.
It works, or it doesn't. I don't know. So, yeah, that was not done by Kerana, by the way, it was done by me, and that's why there is a mistake.
Good job. Everything great.
Cool. Well, I'm going to be here at least for the next 30 to 45 minutes. If you want to have a chat, let me know. Thank you to the organizers. Thank you to Yavor, amazing. And thank you to all of you for being here.
Just a few words before we start chatting, Regina. I just want to introduce you again. So